Hi, Martin from Bespoke Baits. Welcome to this video. I'd like to do a quick review on Boilie Guns. Okay, first one I want to talk about, and I don't actually have the gun, but it's an adapted silicone gun applicator, and it's produced by Gardner. And they produce these little white tubes that go along with it. When you buy it, it comes with these little green nozzles, which are pre-cut to size. I think they run at about £22. Obviously they are the entry level, however it's really hard work, and one of the hardest things about them is actually getting the plunger back out of this white cartridge. You'll see them in the tackle shops. Obviously you want to have your first go, you're desperate to buy some equipment, you see it in the shop. I can't really recommend it, to be fair, but if it's your only option, well, we all started with this stuff really. Okay, so Gardner also do this style of gun, and it comes in two different types. They have a Deluxe and a Deluxe XT, and one's about just under 50 quid for the kit, and the other one's a little bit more than 50 quid depending where you're shopping. These are much better than these things, but obviously you're paying a lot more money for them, and obviously it depends how serious that you want to be in making boilies. Okay, so I'd just like to tell you about an alternative to buying these guns, the Gardner style, because these are actually used in the floor laying industry, and what they're used for is for pushing glue out of foil bags, and are readily available from the likes of Screwfix. Now Screwfix sell these, I think, for about £15. Now I'm not sure what nozzles it'll come with. You might have to buy these aftermarket nozzles, but it's a much cheaper option. Now one of the problems with it is, obviously it's designed to push glue out of a foil bag, so this plunger doesn't really seal very well inside the cylinder. Now to combat that, all I do is I'll just use a little bit of plastic bag and a cable tie, and that obviously does wear out over time depending on your mix. You know, if you're putting a bit of eggshell in there, it will rub on the plastic bag, but I've found that a great solution. So for £15, and to buy a nozzle like this, you're talking about £1. I think they're less than £5 if you buy 5. So for 20 quid, you're basically getting yourself a really good boilie gun. Okay, so moving on to pneumatic ones, which are air powered, and this is a Cox style gun, again designed for the floor laying industry to push glue out of foil bags, and being adapted to by some people to use in the boilie industry. Comes with a little bit of regulator on here, but I always run it full blast. Obviously you have to have a compressor with it. Something like this, £130. 5mix.com do them, and obviously you can buy them in some of the larger tackle shops. This is the smallest version. They do a much bigger version, and you can get an adapter which will take 3 screw-in nozzles, and obviously that one costs even more. I couldn't tell you how much they cost. Obviously you do need a compressor, and on the back of that there is a major problem. That's my compressor. It's very noisy. So if you're looking to make bait late at night, well, you've got a problem. I mean, regularly I would work till 9 o'clock, and obviously 9 o'clock, I think that was enough for that, for the neighbours. However, obviously maybe £180 you can buy a silent or a really low noise compressor. So again, it's up to you. Obviously for doing larger batches and taking the weight out of your hand from squeezing up, this is the way forward. I used this for years. I made loads and loads of bait out of it, loads and loads of hook baits, and it's been a good servant for me. You can buy the spares for them. They've got a little plunger inside with seals. What happens, obviously the plunger comes all the way at the end and stops, and then you get this little tool, and what you do, you just push the plunger back down, reload the gun, get your nozzle on, and obviously away you go again. Okay, so now for the daddy, and again designed for the floor making industry, and I have a Makita. So if you want to look up these guys, they're caulking guns, or they might be classed as a mortar gun. Basically comes with exactly the same aluminium cylinder that all the other guns have come with, but obviously it's battery powered. So to buy this gun with a battery and with a charger, you're probably looking at around £300. Now the battery life is amazing. You know, 5-10 kilo Boilie, no problem at all. Obviously when you finish, pop it on charge, and there's times when I haven't charged it and I just keep using it and it works really well. Obviously pull it out, load it up, press your trigger, it forces the paste out. It does have a little adjuster on here. I tend to run it about 4.5. I've never been able to get it past that. Put it on 4.5, and then it just tends to cut out, but 4.5 is perfect. Any more, I think it does go up to 5, but about 4.5 is perfect. Now it does come with 3 nozzles, 3 witch's hat type nozzles, in the lovely blue Makita plastic, and it does have some lines on to help you cut it. Now when it came, it does come with like the foil bag type plunger, so it doesn't seal perfectly in the cylinder, and it does come with another smaller one. I'm not sure what that's for. Each one of these does have a spare nut and a spare bolt. However, I used that for a while again with my little wrapping the plastic round the plunger technique with the cable tie, until one day I decided to have a look in that bag and see what actually came, and lo and behold, it came with an absolutely perfect plunger it has a perfect seal, if you like, a piston, and so I've swapped it over to that, and I've never had any problems since. But obviously £300 is a lot of money, and really you need to be doing a lot of bait to be investing in one of these. But really nice bit of kit, the Makita. And obviously there are other versions. I dare say all the large tooling manufacturers do this sort of caulking gun. Okay, so the last one to mention is obviously the large capacity paste extruders. I got this one second hand off eBay, can't remember what it cost. Obviously there's a few different types of these kicking around. I know there's a guy on the Facebook page, it's called Steve, he manufactures them. Obviously these guys will take 4-5 kilo, maybe even bigger. I think obviously they will have a maximum due to the amount of air pressure you can put in behind them. Obviously designed for doing large batches. I only set this up when I'm using my machine. I think that's nearly every type of Boilie gun that you can buy sort of covered. Obviously I started just like anyone would on the normal cheap Gardner one and progressed to the better Gardner one. Then I bought the air powered one, and then I seen the light and I bought the Makita one. Obviously you can get a version of that sort of gun, hand powered one from Screwfix. Like I say, it's around £15. You might have to spend a bit more on nozzles, it might not work perfectly, you might have to do the bag trick. So just one more thing to mention, that's the type of nozzles. Obviously you've got the witch's hat type ones, these come in at about £1 each or a little bit less. You can get them on eBay. There's a guy I know, Stuart Bait, can't remember his name, sorry Stuart, but he sells them on the bait pages. I think he's got his own website. You also get these little screw-in type. This is if you buy the Gardner, one of the Gardner ones, it does come with a little adapter to take these. And obviously if you buy the big pneumatic gun, it takes 3 of these. It has 3 holes where you can screw these in to produce 3 sausages in one go. I done away with my adapter, and what I did is I made these so I can screw my nozzles in there. The thing with these nozzles, probably great for using if you are going to make hook baits. So say you're going to make a 16mm hardened hook bait, and you also want to make some barrels. So what you can do is you can make your mix, put it in the gun, pump out half of it, make your 16mm, and then swap your nozzle over, and then all you're going to do now is run your barrels off, and then lo and behold you haven't had to strip your gun down, and then all you're wasting really is the last little bit of paste that's in the gun or even in the nozzle. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, fair enough, give it a thumbs down. One last little thing, can you subscribe to the channel? That will be really good. And also, any questions, probably write them below, or Facebook page is a good place to send your questions. That's Bespoke Baits, and we are Bespoke Baits. I'm Martin, and bespokebaits.co.uk, and you can see all the type of hook baits that we make. Tight lines.